Equine program, which upsets me a little bit because he'd be like 60 now. I'm 37. That story, I don't know if the man from Snow River was a true story or if it was legend, but the story I'm about to tell you is true. I spoke to a man that was in it, and I spoke to his brother-in-law, and I saw the fear and the sadness in his eyes when he told me about it. And I'd love to share it with you. It does have a happy ending, so please don't think it. Snowy River legend. The Snowy River Mountains are home to splendid tales of skilled and daring riding that would leave your features pale. Are they folklore? Are they legend? Or just old stockman's lies? Is there truth behind these stories played out beneath starlit skies? Did the man from Snowy River really take that daring leap? Or was it just a vision? Come to banjo in his sleep? Do the stockmen know that country like the back of their own hand? Do they bond with horse so strongly that as one they run the land? Does disaster or an urgency bring a hero into sight? Does a scrap for life and death cause a noble heart to fight? When the Snowy River Mountains were brought to light in flames, the title of a hero was waiting to be claimed. And many stood to challenge the flames and daring fight. Firefighters, tireless workers, toiling boldly day and night. The fire had swept the mountains, no ridge, no plain untouched. Like learners stood between the fire and land they loved so much. Bulldozers called for fire breaks, they would need an escort through. 2 mounted men on horses forged ahead. They never knew the fire would catch a headwind and turn the power to stone. The dozers ploughed through blistering flames, but men and horses trapped must run. Kerry Rollsmore, the chestnut, brother-in-law marked upon the bay with the race that stood before them. They wished they'd fed the oats, not hay. Their only chance outrun it, where the flames would scold and singe. They must race through Devil's Cauldron with the prize of life to win. Kerry's home was in these mountains, still with horses in his blood, but a wave of fear and panic swamped his mind and soul like a flood. From a child these tracks he'd ridden, each one he knew so well, but they now bore close resemblance to the fiery depths of hell. They were galloping together, Kerry urged Mark by his side. We must make it to a clearing. Ride, mate. Bloody ride. The horses had to be frightened and cables on the ground, but they lay their ears to proud bold necks and powered over ground that was treacherous in daylight, and the path ahead was clear. Now they galloped through a wall of smoke, through bush alive with fear. Kangaroos and wallabies, coats singed and half light, bounced into Mark and Kerry. They were wild and blind with fright. The wind was playing havoc, the fire swept and swayed, but in all of this commotion, both men made time to pray. Mark beckoned to his brother, who 3 years ago had died. Stay with me now, beside me. Help me finish out this ride. Kerry too had thoughts of loved ones, 2 small boys and darling wife. Did they know how much he loved them? Had they all fulfilled his life? Would he ever see the dawning of a new day with his clan, or would his body fuel the fire as it rampaged, bucked and ran? They were jumping fallen timber, barbed wire fences, broken ground. The pounding of their hearts was drowning out all other sounds. Kerry noticed in the distance a glimpse of open land, but the fire swept around them like a huge volcanic hand, blocking path and blocking freedom, no way out. To stay and die. So they turned their steeds to which they came and let their horses fly, retracing burnt and broken ground, flames leaping at their skin. Both man and horse exhausted, but neither would give in. Kerry headed for the water that he knew would save their lives, but he had to fight a feeling that cut his heart like knives. The creek lay behind 2 ridges just 1 kilometre away, too steep for tired horses. Doc and Bobby had to stay. They removed bridles and saddles, one last stroke before they fled. Kerry thanked them for their bravery, for the heart and soul they led. Both men headed for the ridges, for the safety of sheer rock. But they saw what lay before them, and they both ear-died with shock. 300 vertical metres with fire behind them on attack. They slid and rolled to safety on blistered legs and bruising backs. They dove into the water for liquid fuel intake and shared this blessed billabong with lizards, birds and snakes. Their loved ones on the lookout. They prayed for their return. They knew Kerry knew the mountains were sure The chopper got their signal and rescued them at dawn. They were fed a hero's breakfast, yet both men still looked for more. To leave their horses, stranded, all alone to flee the flames, would torment the men forever. There was no fault to claim. They'd searched for 3 long days, but horses vanished with the smoke. The charcoal, smouldering land had wrapped them up within its cloak. Kerry, saddened by their missing, dropped down to bended knees. Then a whinny from his comrades came a-floating in the breeze. They'd escaped the fires near into a neighbour's pasture flat. Kerry rose to greet the heroes that brought he and brother back. From the jaws of fiery death they cheated and they won. Both men stood beside their horses on the mountain beneath the sun. So is this tale of bravery just another myth been made? Or did it really happen and a legend's part been paved? Both men lived to tell the story, and they'll tell the truth with pride of how they raced the devil's beast and how they won.